Hello everyone, I'm Nate and welcome to the channel. So I have the first of three things for review here from Recess YoYos. Tyler was kind enough to send over three of their newest items in their catalog. So today we're going to be looking at the, I almost said it wrong, the Hypernova here from Recess YoYos. So let's go ahead and get into the Hyper YoYo. I have here the, well, it's one of two different colorways in the Better Alone or Better Off Alone, has the saucer on it and all that. This is like the pink one. I believe there's a blue one as well, but they all have this black, almost like a glossy finish here on this black. So really nice. It's not super tacky. So maybe it's also the time of year. My fingers aren't really sweaty. So perhaps if I was doing this review in like, I don't know, August or something, it might be a little different. But I've actually really enjoyed the finish on this. Really not too bad at all. This is a classic yo-yo. If you are not familiar with Tyler's signature yo-yo that he won multiple national titles with and all kinds of things and was very iconic, I think picking up a Hypernova will give you that nostalgia maybe that you're looking for. If you have not been around yo-yos for as long as some of us have, including myself, you may not remember those good old days. Well, this is time for you to maybe pick up one and kind of just get on board with that. And I think one thing that kind of tells us about design sometimes is that, you know, things change a little bit in yo-yo, but then a lot of things don't change. Good design is iconic, and this design here is certainly iconic. It's a classic W shape, really nice sort of profile for competition, right, kind of play, very much a performance focused yo-yo. Nice step design here, has a little bit that drags off there. So as far as like yo-yos that weren't at the time really kind of designed for, you know, off the plane kind of horizontal play, this yo-yo is gonna still fit the bill for that kind of play. I mean, look at the gap there between the gap there. There's gonna be quite a bit of room there. So for modern tricks that weren't necessarily played when this original design came out, when Tyler was throwing it and other people were throwing it, I think it still fits modern design, and there's something that it can still offer. And so many yo-yos have been inspired by this design. I really like a W shape. I don't see as many of those anymore, and I think we need to see a few more of them. I think they're really comfortable in the hand, but also really performance focused as well. As far as play, it's probably going to play, and I know this from obviously playing it, going to be a little bit more of that stable, that steady, kind of like solid play, if that makes sense. Like when I say solid, I mean like the weight distribution doesn't feel like it's either middle weighted or end weighted, but just kind of stretched out through the whole yo-yo. It's just really well played yo-yo. It feels like it's one of those ones that as you play it, you're going to be able to feel it on the string and be able to really kind of direct it as needed. For redirects, things like that, for regens, it's going to be really comfortable, and you're going to know where it is. It's a 1-to-1 from his original one. It's minus, I think it's 0.75, grams. So not even 1 gram lighter, but just a little bit lighter. I'm not sure where he took it off, maybe off the center, I'm not sure. But it's going to play just like it did. So if you've been around long enough, you've played Tyler's original one, there were so many different colorways of it. Now in this run here, there is this one, like I said. There's a bunch of different colorways as well. I'll have a picture here of all those from their shop, and I'll have a link in the description to where you can buy this and all the specs and all that. But there are a number of colorways from the team, Recess team as well, so you can check those out. There's some really unique ones. Some of them are sold out. I think the one's sold out actually, but most of them are in stock still at a pretty decent price point as well. I think they're $65 to $70. And that's really not bad for a performance yo-yo. So if you're looking for that next thing, if you're looking for something a little nostalgic, if you're looking for something that feels timeless, again, I don't think really things change as much as we think they do sometimes in the yo-yo industry. I think the biggest thing now, maybe in 2025, and maybe for the last like even 10 years, is that there really aren't any bad yo-yos. It's very rare that I come across a yo-yo that's, I mean, maybe there's bad designs, I'm not saying that, but like as far as playability, you don't get a lot of yo-yos that have tons of vibe and things like that anymore, like you might have, back in the early 2000s or so, maybe something like that. But again, I think generally good design is good design, and that is timeless, and so that's the Hypernova. All right, let's go ahead and play it around a little bit before my hands completely freeze off, and we'll talk about how it plays on the string. All right, I hyped up the Hypernova here to say that, you know, even though it is an older design, that it can still kind of kick it with newer yo-yos out there. And so let's go ahead and throw some tricks at it. First off, we'll do some string wraps. Really nice gap on there. I mean, it didn't snag at all. There's 4, and I didn't feel like it slowed down like at all. Let's go ahead and talk about the finish as well. This one's, of course, a more glossy finish than some of the other ones that are being released in this run. And I didn't find a problem with that. Super stable yo-yo. I really just a joy to play. I mentioned that it's one of those designs that I feel like, you know exactly where it is. I mean, like, this will be a yo-yo if you kind of put a blindfold on, you kind of feel where it's at. You know, it's going left, it's going right. You can definitely feel and control for direction changes, things like that. I mean, you definitely feel like you have a lot of control. It's going to do really well for horizontal as well. All right, this is a trick that I think I'm going to go and do a tutorial here at some point, and I just created it like yesterday, but I'm calling it free verse. Yeah, it's kind of like a poetry theme. Yeah, I like that trick. So I'll be having a breakdown of that at some other video in the future. I really like the Hypernova here. Solid player. I mean, again, nostalgic. Play on the string feels really nice. It has, again, a lot of control. It feels like that weight is right about there. It's going to give you enough spin times. It's just a good, solid playing yo-yo that's going to be everything you want for kind of competition. You can definitely see why Tyler won so many with this, but also why so many others gravitated towards this yo-yo. The other 2 yo-yos that Recess sent me were the First Base in the Revelation Records edition, and then also the Joyride, but this one is in the D-bearing version, and I'm really excited about that one. I reviewed the Joyride ages ago. I had the blackout version of that, and that was in the C-bearing, but now there's a D-bearing version of that. So my question for you in the comments, go ahead and leave a comment. Which one would you like me to review next? Both of them are going to be reviewed, but which one would you like me to review next? Either the Joyride D-bearing version or the First Base Revelation Records version of that. That's going to do it for now. If you like this kind of content, like and subscribe and all that. But here is the best way that you could possibly, the newest way that you can possibly support this channel and all the things I do and all the creativity and all the content and everything else. I have a Patreon. Just launched it. I have not done much with it. I'll have videos on there. My plan is to do more with it, kind of depending on how much response I get. So again, if you like this kind of content and you've been following me for a while, that might be the best place for you to support me. And there are a couple different tiers in the shop. I also have a buy-in for a private skill toy lesson. So this could be Yo-Yo, this could be Big Larry, this could be a number of things that I feel confident in, and I can walk you through that. It'll be a Zoom thing. Anyways, check that out. Anyways, I'll have a link in the description to my Patreon. I'll have a link in the description to everything for Recess here that I talked about again. And anyways, I'll see you in the next one. Later.